Righto. I think we've managed to fix that bloody technical issue that I was having with the controller. For some reason, it wanted me to. Well, I went through Device Manager, removed the Bluetooth drivers, reinstalled those. Basically, just went full nuclear on it. Actually, um, yeah. So reset the controller, reset the computer, reset my life, and I think we're back again. So just going to jam a little bit of skate, see how we feel about it. A wee bit of a boogie. Cruise around, maybe have a look at the community parks, have a bit of a chat about those. Now, I'd like to see this UI bug go. We'll be talking a fair bit about the bugs as well. I'm going to have a bit of a bloody whinge about that in another whole separate video. I'm playing Escape for about just over 600 hours now, and I mean, obviously a little bit of boredom or frustration usual, but far out, man, the level of bloody disappointment in this game keeps delivering is actually phenomenal, barring my own personal skill issues, obviously. Yeah, so, I don't know, what do we want to do? We'll go check out one of these community parks first, though. Go have a bit of a look at that. We'll go have a look at these ones that they keep banging on about being their bloody favourites. Yep, not off to a great start. But yeah, I did have some high hopes for the, well, we'll call it cautious optimism for the community park down here, this new Hedgemont Park, but I don't know, once again, I don't think daily parks are the way to go necessarily. With the daily parks comes a lot of the ones you don't like coming through. I think if they just focused on having maybe 4 good parks per area and rotate those out once per week, I think we would have a lot better of a time with them and actually get to jam the, like good parks for a while instead of getting a series of below average parks all the time. But this one, to be completely fair, is actually not too bad. Like, I don't hate this one. A little bit of vert. Cool little Euro gap up here. Give that the old tried and true 360 flip. Try and hit a kick blunt here. Not quite a bit messy, but that's alright. Kickboard. Kick lip. Close enough. Close enough. You'll soon learn as you come to watch these that I'm not the best at naming tricks. Like, I skate in real life. I get it wrong all the time, man. Like, it almost gets to the point with me where I just sort of think, well, the board goes wee, and we hang on for dear life, and I make some make. Barring, obviously, like, yeah, your obvious ones. Now, what I'll do as well, actually, is I will drop the little flicker in the middle, too. I think that's what we'll do. Oh, where was that? Under general, I think. Yeah, there you go. Hey, that's a bit nicer, right? Love a bit of Manitech. Bit of a dirty double grind out of the back there. Yeah, this isn't the worst one. A couple of QDOs with the mates. That wouldn't be the worst thing ever. But still, she's a bit, yeah, I don't know. Nullity to 5-0. Not terrible. Dark slide this. No, I won't dark slide that. Dark slide this. I might try dark slide this one on the way down. A little dark kiss, that'll do. Oh, let's cruise around, go have a bit of a look. Now, I'm not exactly a realistic player either, like a lot of the clips, when I'm trying to get clips, I'll try to use a bit more realistic, skating and clipping techniques, like capturing techniques, but for the most part, it's just a game, man. I'm not really too worried. We'll get onto the stadium too. Obviously with X Games releasing tomorrow, we are looking forward to seeing a bit of a revamp in there, because while the novelty was cool to begin with, she's been a failure on the slalom there. Yeah, but she's been a bit disappointing, all in all, in that stadium, like that mini mega pump track thing. Until they work more on the transition side of things in this game, it is a real chore, to be honest, all the challenges in there. It's one thing, you'll notice a lot in playing Skate, and I'm assuming I'm not unique in that, in saying this, is that a lot of the time the game's asking you to do things that it's going to continuously fight you on in challenges, and that's like with the physics and the mechanics, and that's very frustrating. You battle on and you get it done, especially if you want those bloody ticks, but for the most part it can be very, very frustrating. What do we got here? Big open plan, got some ledges. Oh, how we manage that. This is a neat little gap. Classic quarter pipe up here. Oh, no accounting for skill issues though, that's not the game's fault. Alright, hang on, let's come back to that. Come on, Geko. Oh, that old trick. Alright, let's get that. No, get that cleaner than that. Yeah, okay. Now the old ejector button, though. Have I not set a marker there? No, I haven't. Right, anyway, moving on. Yeah, but this isn't terrible at all, though. We like this, like cheeky little bit of Manitech up here. Oh yeah, the old Roblox issue, oh. That's nice to know. Cheers, Roblox. Oh, and a bit of that too, eh? Jesus, she's all go today, oh. I have to figure that one out too. Little kickflip, mani. Impossible out. I'll do a dark catch up here. Oh, come on. Actually, yeah, we're going to try a quick little dark catch up through here. I think that'll look pretty cool, like a revert on the end of it. Not as clean as you can get it, but we'll take what we can get. The energy levels, I mean, I probably shouldn't even be trying to stream this at the moment, given, but the energy levels aren't at the highest today. I was up way too late last night, jamming a bit of hyper shot on Roblox with the lads, so definitely feeling it today. So early night for Geko tonight. But no, this is not a terrible park. Probably give this one a solid, what do we reckon? Probably a solid 6.5 out of 10. Certainly not the worst we've come across in game. Get a bit of Manitech up through here, right? That's a brilliant little physics collision bug there. So I must have put a bloody landmine on that one. Bone dolly over the gap, nollie off. And a big overcrook on the top ledge there. We'll take those, we won't get too carried away. Yeah, no, I saw that coming. That's fair enough, that was completely my fault. Hanging on for dear life on that one. Laser up. Nice. Lazy little laser. Hey, if anyone's got the secret to the low pops are the low flip tricks, like no pop out of grinds. If you'd be as kind as to explain to me in the comments exactly how I do that, or I doubt anyone's actually watching the stream at the moment. I've got OBS up, so I can't tell. But yeah, if someone could please be as kind to explain to me as how I bloody get the low pops out of grinds, because I've got absolutely no idea how to do it. These bloody rip chip challenges, eh? Like, do we bother? No, I'll go around and do them all one of these days too. Won't be tonight or today, or during the X Games event, no doubt. But yeah, we'll go through and we'll get all those done. Do a round. See if I can't speedrun them. Used to do that a lot. That's where all those rip chips came from. We used to spend you'd spend a good couple of hours just blasting through all the rip chip challenges every day. And obviously that's how you got your level ups in the first place with your neighborhoods. But it's also a good way to get better at the game. So, it asks you to do some obscure challenges, or if you're a bit bored, you can actually intentionally make those challenges harder than they need to be by adding extra tricks and all that sort of carry on. Oh, mowing the lawns. Right, what's a gully? Now, there was a time, older, players that have been playing since Season 1 will remember, probably Season 2's when it really kicked off, where gully used to be the spot, and the other parks sucked, but they seem to have changed that a little bit now. Whereas gully not getting as much love as everything else. It's still one of the best places to set up QDOs with your mates. Is this gap right here. Actually got a little something here for us at the moment, but usually there's nothing there, or very little there. You can set things up. We're not going to make that, I don't think so. I should do that now. I'll show you what I mean. Let's do a quick little QDO drop here. Sometimes we call this noob fishing too, because you'll do this, set up some QDOs, or usually you just set up QDOs and bloody level 1 players show up anyway, but as long as they don't mess with your builds, it's all gravy. What we like to do though, we like to chuck, see if I can get a longer rail across that maybe, or good old fashioned picnic table, might do it. Should know better than that, it's not going to fit. What we can do, let's throw it on this side and gap to it. I did pick up this X Games grind box too, that's actually pretty sick, so we'll throw that down. Where's that? There it is. Chuck that down in there, I think. And not in the ocean. Just down there. Line it up as best we can, as best the game will allow us. You sort of start to get the idea of, what we go for across here sometimes. Just anything you can sort of do. You don't want too many rails, otherwise, I mean, one or two rails is usually sufficient. But you just want to add some differences and things to grind, things to ollie across. Things to have the old inevitable skill issue. But those are cool because you get the multi-layered grinds or slides you can get on there. Jeez, just have to oil up my bearings though. You pay EA a small fee to increase the board speed. Lovely. See, when it's good, when this game's going, man, like, it's so much fun. Oh, I reckon we got a 360 to 720 flip over that. Yeah, oh, bloody hell. Yeah, I reckon we scooty up here. Maybe we'll get that bug too. That ugly ass glitch that when you set for a drop in, and you go back to your marker, or after. Yeah, when you go back to your marker, and sometimes it'll just boot you right off the ramp with incredible speed. Alright, we have to put the 180 on it, I think. Got the bigger spin on there, bigger flip. Oh, Jag's come online. One of the members of the House of the Geko, which is our server for... Well, it started as a skate server on Discord, and now it's a bit of Minecraft, bit of everything. You know, like all of us put a lot of time into skate, so we're sort of... Well, it's not a team, it's just a hangout spot, but we are sort of getting a bit bloody burnt out on it, to be fair. Which is normal, you know, with the amount of hours that we have on it. But at the same time, still got to try and keep things fresh for everybody. I can move on from that. Arcs like that. Oh, with the smoothness. Ugh. Have to get wet. Nollie kick. No, just a nollie. But yeah, you know, you get the idea though. What we got here? Try and hit this bloody curved rail. Well, I was saying so far, like, solid 6 out of 10s all round. Maybe, yeah, maybe to be fair, like a 6.5, 6 for this one. And maybe another 6.5 for Hedgemont. I think that's the consensus for today. Not terrible. Certainly not the worst we've ever seen. We would like to see a little better. What do we reckon? Nollie 360 inward heel off the... A bit inconsistent with those sometimes. Try again. Nah, never mind. It's always pretty cool. Right, it's cruising along. It's an old favourite to hit the big bloody stair set down here. See if we can get it first try. Not even close. Not at all what I was going for, but we'll just take that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like a lot of the clothes and cosmetics for the X Games, I mean, there'll be some people that are chuffed with it, but I don't think I'll be looking forward to much of that, to be honest, so far from what I've seen. Have not been chuffed, not a team sports fan really at all. Not been chuffed to see like World Cup stuff and like baseball and, you know, all this other really random, unrelated sports to, you know, unrelated to skating being put into the game in the battle parts. You know, like, well, season pass, what do they want to call it, but yeah, it's not ideal, man. Like, you don't want to be spending money on, which I did have done since season 1. Say what you will about that, but I'll be honest. But yeah, spending money on that just to have it, you know, be chock-a-block full of just crap, mate. Like, just shit. You know, you bloody, you know, like, randomly. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick whinge. Don't like to whinge often. But yeah, I mean, that's, even though that's hockey, it's not actually terrible. You know, it sort of fits like the cheeky thing for skating, really. Like the baseball wheels, you know, that's not bad. These things here, man, like these shoes, just god awful. Like the 7 people who like them, like, you know, good on you. Like, fair enough, mate. But looking at them, like, there's no stitching, coloring, nothing. It's just lazy. But yeah, more baseball stuff. Yeah, at least it's a sticker. Kind of looks all right. Yeah, you know, like you got the Samban Open stuff. You know, they had to have a theme for it, so I don't hate it. A lot of it's not my cup of tea, but yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and whinge about that. But yeah, like all this like football crap, mate. Like these are I mean that's all right. That's kind of cheeky, kind of keeping in line with skating. So like you don't hate to see that. But all this football crap, you know, what else we got here? Yeah, these god awful bronze shoes that they forced you to buy. You know, it's just rubbish, mate. Like you don't need this stuff in a skateboarding game. It should be. It's part of the reason one of the big reasons that this game sort of comes and goes with people's interest. You know, because like you'd think the next season's going to be a bit better, and then you get as far as getting into here and realizing that it's just full of stuff that's not focused on skateboarding at all, and that's one of the biggest issues since day one of this game is a lack of project focus. They got most of the skating down tight, so that's the main thing. Otherwise, you wouldn't have anybody playing. But for the most part, the project focus is all over the show. And what I mean by that is, they haven't targeted the skateboarding demographic or really a gaming demographic. They've done their best to apply that age-old live service model, the shotgun approach, by using scattershot to try and appeal to as many people, as broader audience as possible, in order to push a live service model. And like, whatever, man, it's your product, you can do whatever you like, but generally speaking, most things, and these people are smarter than me, man, they've been in business, billion-dollar businesses, they know better that this shit just doesn't work. What does work is tailoring a product to the niche community if it's for a niche interest. And skateboarding, believe it or not, as popular as it is right now, when that popularity wanes and shifts, then it becomes a niche interest once again. It still is to a degree. Flip, not even close. So yeah, it'd be good to see a bit more, project focus, like just zero in on the community that, like most of us that are playing now, we have been playing for quite a while. We've accepted the things, whinged about the things that we don't like, accepted, what's not going to change about it. And, oh, that was sick. And just hope to see some improvements along the way. I might just clip that, actually. I quite like that one. Getting away from the mate over there. No idea who that is, but that's right. They seem friendly enough, so... Right, let's get a cheeky clip, eh? A little bit of that roll away. Alright, I am a sucker for the fisheye. Being a 90s and early 2000s kid, so... Boost up that exposure a tiny bit. Pump the color saturation temperature up a bit. Crank that barrel distortion. Just enough vignette so you can see it on the corners. Bring the sharpness up just to tickle that in a little bit. Now get a good angle of where we actually end up. Slap that on there. Possibly get that there. listen. We can actually just do that. That didn't work at all, did it? No, didn't think so. Almost. So we'll just chuck another keyframe in the middle here, so we just sort of get them on the outside. Just to the right of the frame. Just on impact. We will bring this down to here. Just shy of the bump. And we'll see how that looks, though. Have to slow it down. Yeah, that's not terrible. We will just boost this back a little bit from here. And shoot that up there like that. Let's have a quick nosy at that. Okay, so that's a little too fast at the end. Much better. Kick a look that way a little bit. Give us a little bit of rollaway to play with for editing later on. Then we just add a little bit of roll to it. Boost that back over that way. Slow down the action speed a little bit. Excuse me. What you will find if you clips are going away and you're missing some detail, just drop the action speed, like the playback speed, down just a touch. Like, you'd be surprised how much more of your clip you can actually see in doing that. Now we've got a weird little stutter in here. That's because I moved that, wasn't it? So let's do that there. Push that back over that way. Now, what's going on here? Yeah, we'll try that. Okay, we do have a weird little thing going on here. I just boost this up a little. Kick it over that way. Much better. Slow this down even a little bit more. Yeah, it's not awful. We'll export that. Yeah, that'll be a good little quick clip. Righto, so where were we? Skating off to the stadium, were we, to go have a bit of a look at that? Now, I've been noticing some pretty serious frame stuttering in the bloody stadium as well, so with a bit of luck, it's not too bad today. It does not make for good footage. And neither does bad skating, Geko, but that's alright. You get a bit of that. I'm heading in the right direction, aren't I? Am I heading in the wrong? Whatever, feeling I'm heading in the wrong direction. Yes, because I was. That's right. Back up here. Ah, that was a low pop there. I wonder if it's just by doing the like the slow lazy one, like the slow lazy flips. That's how you do your low pop out. Oh, moonwalking. Ah, very good. Very interactive, immersive world indeed. Oh well. Good luck to you. I have to hit this one too. We want to try here, let's call it. Let's do 360 shove to 50-50. Let's try that. Lip slide. Big spin to lip slide, or bigger spin to lip slide, one of the two. That'll do. Not too worried. We're really just chilling, just testing out everything, making sure that, you know, the microphone works. Oh, love that. Love that bar there, right? Like, that is actually one of my favorites. But yeah, just making sure everything works. You know, checking stream quality. You know, just started experimenting with better thumbnails through Photoshop instead of Canva. Putting a bit more effort into those. So that's basically the gist of it all. Got 150 odd subs, so I mean, if you guys want to start chucking us in some comments, start letting me know, you know, like what it is that you like about my content, the stuff that I can do to improve on. I'm always interested in what I can do to improve. You know, constructive criticism is most definitely welcomed and in fact encouraged. And to be honest, like as much as I do, like I'll be honest, first and foremost, I make videos and content and play games because that's what I enjoy. You know, I do it because I like it. It's a fun hobby. And while I'm out of the workforce studying, it's a great way to blow off some steam, plus still doing something reasonably productive as well, outside of skating and learning to skate in real life. And just the other general stuff you get up to. You know, like content creation is something that I wouldn't actually mind turning into a bit of a side hustle if it goes that way. You know, it's a tough game. It's something I do predominantly because I enjoy it. But if that's a consequence of having better content, then I'll be happy with that. But as part of that, you know, it's like I've got myself a tiny little community here. Chuck us in some, you know, some suggestions. You know, you're going to get some Elden Ring content. You're going to get more of the skate content. You know, a little bit of Roblox, some Minecraft. I got a bunch of PS1 games that I want to make videos on, and PS2 games, stuff I grew up playing. So, you know, let us know, man. Like, you know, talk to me. I'm a reasonably friendly fella. You know, have a chat to us and say, hey, look, Geko, you know, we want to see, you know, a little less of this, a bit more of that. You know, do you think about, you know, putting X, Y, and Z in there for, you know, for fun? You know, I'm happy to work with yous. And if I think it's a rubbish idea, I won't do it. You know, it's just pretty simple stuff. So yeah, jump in, chuck us some comments. You know, just sort of let us know where I'm at in terms of your perspective. That's all sort of valuable stuff. And, you know, a lot of the study I'm doing too is business-related stuff. Starting up a company next year. Some live entertainment products with electronic music and stage performing. So, you know, so community feedback is very important for all of that stuff. So I want to hear it. Yeah, the more or less the frames aren't actually too bad in here today. That's good. You gotta laugh though, way like they took out those rubbish, like old school PS1 style crowds out of here. I remember the old wrestling. I know they didn't. Oh no, bugging me, they're still there, right? You know, you see this stuff up here. I go into the camera. Where are we? Free cam. Oh, you can't see them in there. Oh, okay. What's going on here? Bloody ghosts. But yeah, that's actually, to be completely fair and unbiased, that is actually worse than the ones we used to get in a lot of old PlayStation 1 games. It was like games like your old wrestling games. I never really played the other sports games. But you know, the wrestling games in particular had like 2D cutout characters, like models holding up signs and repeating like 6-frame animations in the background, and it was very, very similar to this. Like, I'd sooner just not have a crowd in there, to be completely honest with you. And then I don't know what's worse, like a crowd of rubbish, like models and textures, which is probably what that is, just textures. Those wouldn't be models. Or is it worse having, like, in the stadium that can fit a few thousand, we have, what, a couple of hundred people up here watching? I think that's worse, mate. It's almost like it's all about parents here just to cheer us on. Never been a huge fan of the crowd noise. Like, day one, the music got turned off, because a lot of it I just don't relate to a lot of it, to be fair, but I'm not here to rag on people's music taste. And V, I am here to rag on V, though. That just, yeah, she drove me bloody mental, so, you know, they got turned off immediately. So it is a little bit annoying that I've still got the crowd noises here. That being said, onto some more positive stuff. As much of a pain as this place can be, I do really like the little mini landmarks that they've got. It's really nice to see like a bit of different color, color scheme. You know, like the greys with like little splashes of yellow, and like he's almost like cyber digital. I don't know. Someone who studied architecture or design, or is smarter than me anyway, would know that what that sort of design is. But I like that. That tickles the almonds. Yeah, I'll try to pop out of that. That's fine. Let's try a hard flip over here, right? Not even close, Geko. Snap a hard flip up there in order to make that. There we go. Nice. On foot. Ah, it's like some sort of weird little grind. But yeah, I'm not even going to bother with the pump track. Like, that is, yeah, something that just doesn't do it for me, to be honest. As much as I love mega ramps and big air in real life, it just doesn't quite do it for us. But there's all those new changes coming. Yeah, so I should probably talk about while we're in here, the all the new changes coming in for the designs. You know, we've all seen a few photos of them, and the word is that it is actually pretty decent in there. You know, the changes are definitely welcome. You know, the half pipe, I hope, isn't too big that you lose so much of your speed that you can't, you know, because it's like that sort of Tony Hawk, Bob Burnquist style giant bloody half pipe. So with a bit of luck, it does play well. Like, I am, like, all in all, I know I'm particularly negative today. I think it's because I'm tired and a wee bit grumpy, but like, I do want to see this game succeed, or at least get itself to a point where, you know, it's more or less finished. Perhaps even get a lift on some of these older areas as they become older, say Grom and the stadium, so that way you don't have to pay to go into them anymore. And then, you know, have it so that people can just enjoy, you know, the skating. But so, like, I do want to see the game improve. You know, I'm not sitting here going, you know, the game's dead, fix your game. You know, because the game's not dead. But it is broken in a lot of ways. So it would be lovely to see those improvements come through. Just some general care. I've got mates, I'm not a coder, but I've got some mates who have experience in that department, and they're saying, you know, it's not great, the coding. They don't work for EA, but they know, you know, they're sort of experienced in coding in general. And there's been some unsavory rumors about how the code's been going and how it's been generated, we'll say, and then worked on after the fact, which would explain a lot. So hopefully they can just get their shit together and we can improve upon the already solid foundation. I do like this little spot here too. Ah, to your death. Yeah, we do like this little spot here as well, though. So that's not terrible. That flows quite well. What have we got up here? Oh. Right, let's try to get that inward heel to board slide, eh? Oh, blunt slide's even better. And one really sick addition over here was this, it's actually really grown on me, eh? It's got that challenge for it as well, which can be a bit finicky. But this spot here, the grind into the dumpster, something about it, I quite like that. Let's have a quick go here. Nowhere near fast enough. Set up a bit faster than that. Hard flip to nose blunt. Barrel heel to lip. I mean, they're cousins, right? Distant cousins? Third cousins? Not quite. Oh, laser to blunt, actually. That would be pretty sick. Let's try and hit that. But see, as you can see as well, even though I'm not doing... Oh, we don't hate that. That was pretty sick, actually. How did that look? But you can see, like, sometimes, because I've got Wallies turned off, anyone who plays the game knows why. You know, like, the game will quite often force you into trying to do a Wally when you're trying to do grinds and, you know, stuff like that. So, yeah, that can be a bit of a pain as well. Just clip this one real quick. Reset field of view just a little bit. Turn the effects on. What we'll do is this time, we'll hit that from here. I'm thinking that's the angle. Oh, yeah. We like that. Got an idea. From here to here. Push that out just a little bit. And then we zoom into this. That's an old classic, that. Alright, how does this look? Okay, trim that there. Add a little bit of roll. Maybe even do a little slowdown on the laser. We go here to here. Get the laser in here. Slow that right down. And how do we look? Maybe take that one out. Yeah, I like that. Give that a smack. Hey, what do we reckon, eh? Very good. Alright, so I told myself I was going to stream for an hour. Had a bloody big whinge. You know, I'm not a huge fan of doing. But we've checked out the community parks. Yeah, had a bit of a bitch and a moan about some of the things we don't like at the moment. Chucked a couple of compliments in the right direction. Had a look at the stadium. Got a couple of clips. I'm thinking maybe we just go find a place and just hit a sesh for a little bit. You know, go for a bit of a look around. Which is ultimately one of the best things in this game, to be completely fair. As a skateboarding fan in general. Is just to actually just skate around, man. Like, it would be really nice just to open up the world a bit more, and because it is starting to feel a bit small now. But all in all, like, I am still a fan of Sandman City as a skateboarding location. You know, like I said that a while ago when I first started playing the game. That was a opinion that was not generally well received, but I still stand by it. Like, all in all, even though it's gotten, I mean, 600 hours in, mate, like, what do you expect? Of course it's going to get a bit boring. But you're going to get a bit over it and feel like you've seen everything that you can, but the city itself still holds up. Like, this is not the worst video game city. Never mind for skateboarding. You know, it needs some improvement. It needs more going on. One of the things I'll touch on in my big bloody whinge video coming up will be, you know, like Go Skateboarding Weekend, for example. We had those, you know, a couple of those pop-up spots. Specifically the one on the bridge. Where was it? Hedge, I think. Yeah, the one that was up here. Like, there was absolutely no reason to take that away. They should have just left that there as like a community reward. Like, never mind your community jumper for getting tricks or whatever the hell it was that we got. You know, that should have been the rewards. You know, you guys blast out these tricks. You know, get the combined points or whatever the hell it was, whatever the condition was, and you know, you should have got to keep the spots. That would have been a great incentive. You know, that would have driven up engagement very naturally. So yeah, the city itself does well. Maybe not even so much the city. Like, you know, we've got other islands that haven't had collision added to them yet. So maybe that's what we need now. You know, open up the suburbs. Maybe do something with the great big bloody mountain over there in the background. Or maybe I just need some more sleep. Stop being grumpy. Alright, let's get us a switch blunt. No. Oh. We want that switch blunt all the way around now. Okay. It was an improvement. Yeah, that was predictable. I don't know what I thought was going to happen there. Alright, maybe a bit too much speed, but that's alright, we ball. Oh, rude. Yeah, I'm thinking a bit too much speed, so we just cruise up. One more push. It's probably a bit too fast again. Too early on the ollie. Where the hell is that going to take us? Oh, yeah. Oh, we'll take the nose slide though. That wasn't terrible. Alright, let's clip that one. Yeah, we'll clip that one and then we'll call it stream. I'm hoping this recorded. You know, I am trying to sort of figure out where I'm going wrong, what I need to do better. Because this is something that I intend on doing a bit more of, to be fair. So from memory, if I go here, like this, and then like that. And I should bring this like that, zoom that out a little. Have them following here. Yeah, I'm starting to like that. Yeah, get that little weird one there, so we'll just bring that down into here. We hit the post. No, so we'll just zoom out a bit for this one. Not the most exciting line, but try and get a bit of action on it. Oh, the old forbidden bum shot, eh? Oh dear. What do we got? Something interesting here to zoom in on? Yeah, there we go. I'll do it. So I've used that one before. Alright, so we'll watch that from the beginning. Yeah, bugger it. We'll take that. Cut it off there. Just throw a little bit of roll on it. Always throw a bit of roll on your clips. It just makes it look like just that tiny little bit more realistic, like someone's... Actually, we'll start this one back here. As we come through, we'll boost up to 10. Yeah, it always makes it look like somebody's actually recording. And try to match your camera movements so that, you know, as you're coming up a ramp, then the camera will roll as if the camera's going up the ramp as well, or, you know, just muck around with that. One on the ground here, yeah, I am too. Excuse me. Very good. Always keep the board as much in focus as you can. That's what we're here for, aren't we? We're here for the skateboard. And we'll boost that all the way over to that. All right, let's try that. See how that looks. You beauty. Don't hate that at all. You see that little bit there where the nose of the board dips out of frame? I should have re-edited that so that it stayed in, but I'm not too worried. You know, if you wanted to be perfect about it, you could, but I'm just having a bit of fun at the moment, just testing out these streams more than anything. Stream a bit of Elden Ring of it later on. You know, I like that. That's not terrible at all. We'll keep that. All right, that's the first, well, the second one for Geko Streams. Yeah, keep a lookout for some more of those. Remember to check us a comment. Anything you want to see me improve on, things you want me to try. You know, while I'm streaming, I wouldn't mind doing some more, or perhaps you know, challenges and stuff. You know, throw up some streamer challenges or something. But yeah, if you like my stuff, chuck us a like, chuck us a sub. I've heard it doesn't do very good in the algorithm anymore. Doesn't make any difference. So do whatever you like, mate. Just enjoy the video and take care of yourself. And we'll catch you up on the next one. Righto. Cheers, mates. See you later.